Part 2 of a special Travels with Charlie. Earlier this evening, reporter Charles Paparella introduced us to a guitar hero named Jimbo Ennis, who put his naval electronics training to good use after he left the service. Well, in the second part of that story, we learned that it's not the first time a member of his family made the best of what he learned from Uncle Sam.
Now, if you just tuned in, we've been talking about Jimbo Ennis of Del Mar, whose guitar artistry is only equaled by his technical skill.
A guitar is never perfectly in tune.
Why?
Because of the mathematics involved, the way the frets are laid out.
And that's how you polish frets.
That's one way to polish frets. Guy's had a Fender Stratocaster. He didn't like the color, and so I'm going to refinish it in a clear coat. They had accidents.
Jimmy's shop is a guitar hospital, and Jimmy's the chief surgeon. Did the musician give you any explanation for either one of these?
Yeah, you probably don't want to hear it.
Some of the credit for that goes to the United States Navy, where Jimmy learned a lot about electronics.
I was a fire control technician that operated the radar and the computers for the missile and gun systems.
Lots of guys have careers based on what they learned in the service, but in Jimmy's case, it was kind of a family tradition. See, Jimmy's grandfather was a fellow well known to the people of Delmarva, a man by the name of J.I. Wells. J.I. Wells first distinguished himself running battlefield telegraph lines during the First World War.
And he was the guy that would go out that would string telegraph wire between the trenches. They said he could go up and down a pole so fast he could drop his hat and beat it to the ground coming down a pole.
When he returned to Delmarva, he turned the knowledge he had of wires and poles to his advantage and founded the J.I. Wells Company, which provided power poles to every nook and cranny of Delmarva. Now, there's one more trait Jimmy inherited from his grandfather. I've heard a lot of stories about J.I. Wells over the years, and his reputation is sterling. He was, by all accounts, a good and honest and very generous man. A lot like old Jimmy. In Del Mar, this is Charles Paparella for WBOC News.
Now, if you have a guitar that needs repair, take it to your local guitar shop. Chances are, fair to good, they will take it to Jimmy. Well, coming up tonight on WBOC News at 10 on Fox 21, a new